Hey y'all, this is Kim with Creative Escapades. Gonna be working on this 12 by 12 birchwood panel, and I want to do a mixed media piece with resin and some other elements. I want to use this beautiful pearly, creamy, it's called Frosted Bubbly, I believe, yeah. Frosted Bubbly by Art Minds. It is so beautiful, but I want that to be my background. So I'm going to put you into time lapse while I put this down, and it just shimmers. It has a very pearl look to it. I think it would be really, really pretty for what I'm thinking I have in mind. So I want to do a Mardi Gras theme, and this has dried, and I'm ready to start working on my resin outline. And I'm going to use this mask and draw a template onto the board, something to guide by, so that when I lay the resin on there, it will hold that pattern. And I'm using this Easy Sculpt parts A and B. This will be what I use to make my mold out of, or the outer edges of my design. So I'm just going to take equal parts of this A and B Easy Sculpt, and as you can see, the darker is the A, and it is not quite as much there, so I'm going to add a little bit to it. And then you're going to take both of these and you're just going to mix them together by mashing them until you can no longer see the two different colors, and it's all incorporated together into one solid color. If it's not completely mixed, you'll still see little streaks of the dark. So you just keep going until you have, see, it's two different colors there. Just keep going and turning it and mashing it into each other. It's not hard, it's very easy to work with. And this is fully incorporated and ready to use. So I just roll it up into a little ball and then pinch off little pieces, and then follow my design on my board. Right now I'm making feathers for the mask, and I just roll it out into a long piece and then mash it, and then I'm using the edge of a skewer to make the lines, and also a palette knife to kind of give it the feathered look. And this is the finished results of the resin, and it is dried and ready for further design. So before I do anything else, I sanded down any places where I might have got a little bit of resin on the board that I didn't want, and now I'm just giving it a top coat overall of the Frosted Bubbly color. And then once I get that done and this is dried, then I'll start on the individual colors that I want each part of the mask. Now I'm putting down some gold, and this is 24 karat gold by Deco Art, and I'm using some Dioxazine purple, and actually I'm using a couple different shades of purple. I used the metallic purple first by Loft, and it just wasn't dark enough, so then I added some Dioxazine purple to it. I'm using Phalo green, and of course the 24 karat gold, and using some little micro beads there at the top. And then I used green glitter right below it. I'm going to use purple glitter down where the swirlies are. And I used Jerry's Art medium varnish to hold the glitter in place. And then I come back over it with a top coat of the same to make sure that there wasn't any loose pieces of glitter that might float when I go to resin this. Putting some more of the Jerry's medium and varnish down to hold the glitter in place. And then I mixed some of the medium and varnish and mixed it with glitter and used a skewer to actually put the swirls on there. And these are little droplets of resin that I had done in a previous pour, and I just took those drops and put them on there. And now I'm adding my first layer of resin, and I'm using Stone Coat Art resin, and I thought it needed a little color over here on the side, so I just mixed up some of the same colors and put over there. Put a little bit of iridescent glitter, not a whole lot. This first layer is dried, and I've added a little bit of the square confetti in the same colors. So now I want to work on the sides of the board. They are just kind of plain, and I want to give them some color and design as well to kind of match and flow over from all this bling that's going on top. So what I want to do is add some gold, green, and purple foil to the edges. It won't be a solid edge of foil. I'm just going to use some Jerry's varnish and medium and go around the edges with it, and then just take pieces of this foil and stick it into the varnish and medium, and then I will use a paintbrush and just kind of, after it dries, and then just kind of rub it off in places so that it just has an uneven look, but a hint of color of the foil. So let me give you a word of caution while I'm doing this. This stuff sticks to everything, so you have to be very, very careful when using it. I actually got it folded over onto the top of my design, and I had to clean it off, and that was not easy getting it off of there. So I actually had to take my X-Acto knife and scratch it off of there, which didn't mar my surface because I'm planning on putting this top coat of resin on there anyway, but it was just added work to the design, and there was no reason for it if I had been more careful. So I'm going to put this top coat of resin on now, and I put a little bit on the square confetti that I used first because I had not used any adhesive to glue it to the board yet. And then what I want to do is just move this resin around with my hand to try to get every place covered, especially around right to the edge. I don't want it to go over the edge yet onto the foil because I don't want my resin to just keep flowing. So I'm going to do the top of it first and get it all smoothed out, and then I'm going to just add to the sides with my hands, and I'm not going to put a very thick coat on the sides, just enough to cover and protect the foil. Another little interesting thing when you're using resin with raised design off the board, making sure that the little lower areas of your design does not just gather up the resin. Resin is self leveling, but the way I have these, the mask itself with the eye holes and everything like that, it will pool there. So if you move it and try to get it even as you can, so that it doesn't look like it's one side is fuller than the other, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just using the heat gun to pop the bubbles that I see. And then, what is Mardi Gras without beads? So I'm just going to add these, and I'm just laying them down into the resin that's already there, and then just kind of moving them where I want them. Then I'm going to take the resin that's left in my cup, and I'm going to go over these beads to make sure that they're all coated and sealed onto the board. Once the resin dries, I don't think they're going to come out at all, but just want to go all around the edges of them and then over the tops to make sure that they are coated. Again, it will be self-leveling, so it's not going to pool where this is because there is space in between the beads, so it will be fine. Just going to pop the bubbles. I'm not going to leave the heat on it too much because I don't want to set anything on fire or burn the little string in between the beads. And now I'm going to do the sides and just add the resin to coat the foil. It already had one layer of resin there, so then the foil went on top of it, and now I'm just coating that to make sure that it's covered. And I'm not gonna drag you all the way around all four sides for this. So I'm going to cover this for now and let this layer of resin cure before I come back, and I'm going to add some stones to it to give it some sparkle. But we'll let this cure for now, and I'll come back and show you the final results. So here is the finished results. I've added the Swarovski crystals to it, and I think the bling is just great. Love the sparkly. So if you've enjoyed this video, please click like and share. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and you'll be notified of future videos when I upload them. If you have any comments or questions or suggestions, leave them below. I'll be glad to answer them. And I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope it has been a good one. Bye-bye.